going to be December 28th in the morning. And I'm pre-recording because I'm trying to install new speakers in the sanctuary off of scaffolding. So if I fall down, I'm going to try to get up. But I was talking to you about banning leaps. You were talking about the 4 really important keys to being to sustaining prayer. And the first one was intimacy with God, and how everything flows out of the intimacy, how our identity, really our understanding of who God is so foundational to our being able to be consistent and persistent in our prayer. Legalistic discipline, and it just doesn't do it. It's out of the wrong motive with the wrong heart, and it'll run out of gas and burn you out. It says in 2 Kings chapter 4, tells us the interaction Elisha had with a widow. The creditor was coming to take her 2 sons to be his slaves because of the debt left behind by her husband. The widow cried out to Elijah and to intervene. Partnering with the widow, Elisha supernaturally provided this resources needed to pay off the creditor and save her sons. What I want you to catch is that the widow's cry was birthed out of the sense of responsibility for her sons. She lifted up her voice because her sons were headed into slavery. We also must lift up our voice in the cry to heaven for those around us whose lives are being taken captive. If you have ever been to the call, you have encountered the company of people who have taken responsibility for the nation. At the call, people stand for 12 hours before the Lord, fasting and praying, often with the sun beating down on them and the rain falling. They aren't there just to be intimate with the Lord. They are there to cry out for the nation, of which they have taken ownership. It's not okay to sit back while unjust laws are passed, violent increase, babies are aborted, people live in poverty, and racism still exists in our nations. These issues must drive us to pray as we take responsibility for our nation and call out for great outpouring of the Holy Spirit to see them turn back to God. So the third key in sustaining prayer is the theology of breakthrough. Mike Bickle coined that phrase when describing one of their keys to sustaining prayer in the International House of Prayer. Put simply, you've got to believe God is going to show up when you pray. Again, Andrew Murray advises us in the way of prayer. We must confidently expect an answer to our prayer. Many people, without realizing it, go through the motion of prayer and with no power because they don't really believe their prayers move the heart of God. But the truth is that we have a God who is even more eager to show up in our city than we are for him to show up. Isaiah 64:4 says that God acts for those who wait on him. That means God is moving to action. He's moved to action on behalf of those who seek him in prayer. Sustaining prayer isn't so arduous when we believe God is going to respond to our prayer. You trusted that breakthrough will come because God answers prayer. Our faith is not in our ability to pray, but in his ability to answer. It may take a while. It may seem like God is slow, but he will answer because you are praying. Your ability to continue praying when it seems like God is not listening directly related to your knowledge is directly related to your knowledge of his character. George Mueller, when asked if he had any unanswered prayers, confidently replied, "No. That is, except for one, but it will be." Now, can it be another way? Well, I'm still praying. The unanswered prayer was for the conversion of a friend's son. As Mueller's funeral, the son gave his life to Jesus. Mueller was a man confident in the character of God and confidence in the effect of his prayers and how it moved heaven. That's interesting. Well, maybe one, but God's working on it. And it gets answered at his funeral. You know what? Whatever you've been praying for and you've almost lost hope in, just remember God's still working on it.